Hello and welcome to the MRF Challenge, coming to you from the Buddha International Circuit in Delhi. It's round 3 for the Formula 2000s and race 3 of the weekend. So far we've seen some very close battles out there. So Jack Nicholls, what can we expect to see from this one?
Well, this grid is set by the second fastest qualifying time. So we've got Mick Schumacher on pole position. He's been in tremendous form this weekend. He won the first race, did really well in race 2, but he's got his rival, I suppose, Harry Newey, alongside him on the front row of the grid. And then championship leader Joey Mawson is lining up in 3rd place. So I think we're going to see a real fascinating battle for the lead of this one, because they're all going to be going for it, because we've only got now 5 races to go. When we arrived, we were kind of halfway through the season. We'd done 8 races, and with 8 races still left, but we've only got 2 more races today. Then it's the final round of the season in Chennai. So I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating to see how hard these guys push, who's got new tyres, who's on used tyres, and what this man, Joey Mawson, can do in particular, because he is leading the championship, and all he's been talking about is consistency.
Absolutely. You mentioned tyres, so what do you think the tactics are going to be?
I think we're going to see most of the front runners on new tyres for this one, because you don't want to use a set of new tyres in the reverse grid race where you're starting, down in 8th or something, and you can't really get the full speed out of them. Good to see this man, actually, Felipe Drugovich, out, because he got taken out in the second race yesterday at the hairpin in the opening lap. So he's going to look to try and make up for that a little bit, I think, as well. Okay,
well, I'm going to let you get up to the commentary booth, and I'm going to take a look along the grid and see who I can speak to. As Jack was saying, it's not just the top 3, actually the top 6 are all good drivers, and anyone could take it. So Ralph, you've not been so happy with your performance so far this weekend. What can you do for this race 3?
Race 3 is going to be difficult, I think, because I have old tyres, but I'm hoping for race 4. It's from the best lap times, and I did quite a good lap in race 2, so I'm hoping for a good starting position.
Okay, so we'll look forward to race 4 for you, but see what he can do in race 3. And we spoke about Felipe Drugovich, so let's go speak to him. Felipe, it's good to see you on the track. It's been a mixed weekend for you.
Yeah, first race we could do a good job, taking a second. And then the second race I couldn't do much. Just in the second corner I got pulled out from someone, but let's try to do the same as I've done in the first race now.
This is going to be an interesting start, because we've got all good drivers here at the front of this grid. What have you done about tyres?
Now we've got new tyres, but I think all the guys here in front have got 2. So yeah, we're in the same pace. So let's try to do a good start and try to keep on that.
Thanks very much. We're going to make our way to the front of the grid now, and I'm going to see who I can speak to. Let's speak to Aaron Mammon.
Okay.
Hello there, good to see you. Good to bump into you, literally. How's this weekend going for you here in Delhi?
Yeah, it's been excellent. We had fantastic races. We had 2 races yesterday. Schumacher won 1 race, and the other race he came 3rd. I think so. We're going to see a lot of exciting race today, and let's hope for the best.
It's been some really close racing.
Oh yes, I think so. It's so exciting, and I think so everybody is equally good. I think so that's most important, and I'm sure some of them might overtake each other, but let's hope for the best.
The question is from everybody, have they gone out on old or new tyres? But they're all getting the best from them, aren't they?
Oh yes, MRF has made some new tyres for this race, and some of them have an option of putting on new tyres or what they drove yesterday, and whatever suits their style and whatever suits their performance, and I think so let's hope to see the best out of it.
Thanks very much. See you later. So we'll go to the first 2 front runners. Harry Newey is in P2. Harry, final thoughts before the lights go out?
I think just keeping calm and cool, trying to win as well. Yeah, making sure I get a good start, going through the start procedure, and yeah, just really focusing on the best I can do.
Tyres? What have you gone out on?
Gone out on new tyres, so yeah, green flag lap, need to get the warmth in them, and yeah, see what we can do from there.
Thanks very much. And I'm going to try and speak to Mick Schumacher. Now, when we tried the other day, he was focused and in the zone, so we couldn't get a word with him. Let's just see now. You okay for a word? No? Okay. Mick wants to get in the zone. I totally understand that. You know, every point counts for them here, and it's all important as we're getting further into the season. So, Jack Nicholls, are you back in the commentary booth?
Of course I am. It's really close. So, yes, we are all ready to go for the third race of the weekend in the MRF Challenge. There you can see Mick Schumacher lined up on the front of the grid. He's really kind of come into his own, really, I suppose, over the last couple of, well, this weekend. I mean, he had a good run in Bahrain, taking 2 victories. But then, you know, he never dominated, really, in the way that he has so far this weekend, taking pole position, dominating the first race, then taking pole position as well for the second fastest qualifying. So there he is on his MRF ZLO tyres. And the 17-year-old German about to get going. And there you can see the fantastic turn 8 and 9 complex here at the Buddha International Circuit in Greater Noida. Just over 5 kilometres, 12-lap race for the MRF Challenge. It's getting warmer as well, 18 degrees the track temperature, 17 degrees the air temperature. It's just coming up to 12:30 midday here. There you can see Joey Mawson in 3rd place on the grid, the Australian who won the German Formula 4 Championship last year. And here's a look at the points as it stands after race 2. It's Joey Mawson who is comfortably clear at the top of the championship. Schumacher and Newey separated by just 6 points. So a win today for Schumacher and he would be guaranteed to stay ahead of Harry Newey in that. But if Harry Newey wins, he's guaranteed to move up into 2nd place in the championship. So an awful lot on the line. And Joey Mawson wants to continue his good form and consistency that saw him finish 2nd in the British F3 Winter Series. And obviously win that German title, defeating Mick Schumacher in the German Championship last year. And there is Felipe Drugovich nearest towards us, who was taken out yesterday, well, collided anyway with Pavan Ravishankar. Not wishing to apportion blame. It was, you know, the first lap and Drugovich could have possibly given a little bit more space. Ravishankar maybe was a bit ambitious, but whatever the scenario, he was taken out and didn't finish the race, unfortunately. So a chance for Drugovich to get some more points on the board. Here we go then, away they go on the green flag lap. And as Harry Newey says, he's on brand new tyres, and we imagine most of the front runners will be on those brand new tyres to try and make the best use of them at the start and in the early laps, because as I say, if you put new tyres on starting down in the middle of the pack, they're just going to go to waste if you get caught up behind someone. There is Mick Schumacher then. A win today would see him close in on the championship leader, Joey Mawson. We've got one more race to come a little bit later on. Here's a look at the grid. Schumacher on pole position, Harry Newey alongside him on the front row. Joey Mawson in 3rd place ahead of Felipe Drugovich in 4th, with Ralph Aaron and Yuri Vips, the 2 Estonians, in 5th and 6th. And actually, Ralph Aaron is a man to watch out for. Can he climb up the order? Because he really struggled on Friday and in Saturday morning's qualifying session, but started to pick the pace up yesterday afternoon. Manuel Maldonado down in 11th place. Dylan Young, unfortunately for him, crashed in qualifying, so his 2nd fastest time was very slow because he only really did 1 hot lap in car number 3 there, and then had to retire with a problem yesterday as well. And a shame for the 27-year-old Australian, because he was looking very, very quick as well here. But it wasn't to be so far anyway. The 4th grid for the 4th race later on today is made up of the fastest laps from the races. So whoever has the fastest race lap over the course of the 3 races will start on pole position. There's number 2, Rinus VK, the young Dutchman, 16 years old. There is Dylan Young. There's Pavan Ravishankar, the 17-year-old Singaporean, at the back of the pack for this one. But it's Mick Schumacher who's going to be starting on pole position, and yesterday we saw him dart very aggressively across towards the pit wall We've seen that happen an awful lot, actually, in all of the series that are racing here this weekend. It's a very Schumacher thing to do. Of course, his father, Michael, would often dart across to cover the inside line on the run down towards the first corner. The Shuey chop, I think it was known as, but we have seen a lot of drivers doing that over the course of the weekend, just simply because it's such a wide run down towards the first corner. A couple of little lockups there from Harry Newey as he tries to get some heat into the tyres, really chucking the car around. He's in that black and white car starting in second on the grid. Joey Mawson in the blue car in third position, but once again you can see the angle Mick Schumacher has lined up his car in very aggressively over towards the right hand side. Pavan Ravichanka lines up at the back of the field, and now we wait for the lights. Race 3 of the MRF Challenge here in Greater Noida about to get underway. Mick Schumacher on pole, Harry Newey alongside him on the front row. It's a really good start from Joey Mawson. Is he going to be able to get second place away from Harry Newey? Yes, he is. In fact, it's a bad start from Harry Newey. He drops down into third, and the back end twitches away from him. Schumacher holds the lead. Collisions further back. That's Ralph Aaron being pushed up in the air by the looks of things. Manages to keep going for the time being. How much damage is done to that car? Harry Newey trying to go back around the outside, and he's going to be tucked right up behind Joey Mawson as they head now down the back straight. Mawson covers the inside line. Schumacher is leading in the red and white 25 car. Joey Mawson, the championship leader, in the blue car on the inside, with Harry Newey alongside him on the run down this incredibly long back straight. We're going to see Mawson tucked back in to try and get a bit more of a slipstream. Harry Newey comes across, and there's the dummy from Mawson. Great move from the Australian up into second place. Can Newey get the cutback on the exit? No, not quite, and in fact, if anything, Felipe Drugovich is there on the grass. He's keeping it flat. Impressive stuff from Drugovich, but he can't quite get there. Rinus VK looking up the inside as well. All this is perfect news for Mick Schumacher, who's sprinting clear, but what a fantastic, aggressive move from Joey Mawson to take second place away from Harry Newey. A little bit wide there, further back for Yoshi Katayama. It looks as though Ralph Aaron, despite going up into the air a little bit, is still managing to keep going. But Mick Schumacher is flying away at the front of the field. Harry Newey started second yesterday and ended up finishing in third place. As Mawson now tries to just stretch his legs, but their battling has really allowed Mick Schumacher to sprint clear, and as he comes out of the final corner to complete lap 1 here of this 12-lap race, he has got a 2-second lead over Joey Mawson in second position, but Harry Newey is very close, only 0.4 of a second behind the Australian. Side-by-side action further back, 2x2 almost, as Dylan Young makes a move with Ralph Aaron. Pavan Ravichanka's just got past Katayama. Ralph Aaron is out onto the runoff area. Dylan Young is going to hold that place now, and that is 8th position. And up at the front, it's Schumacher who's got the advantage now. Here comes Harry Newey challenging for second place again on Joey Mawson. Mawson covers the inside line again. Wheel to wheel up towards turn 4. Mawson with the inside line should be able to hold on. Newey sweeps out wide to try and get the cutback, but turn 5 isn't really an overtaking opportunity. But I tell you what, Newey's got well alongside here. Mawson's going to have to be late on the brakes if he wants to hold this place, and he's able to do so. Fantastic battle for second position. And Newey has to skip across the chicane there. All this could allow Drugovich and Rinus VK into the fight. Rinus van Kampveld, the young Dutch driver, is in that sort of grey and yellow car behind the red car of Felipe Drugovich, the Brazilian. They're running in 4th and 5th places. But here's Mick Schumacher, the race leader, dropping down the hill towards the end of his second lap. Just looking so commanding, so dominating this weekend. Really impressive stuff from Schumacher, but certain Newey thinks if he was in front of Joey Mawson, he'd be giving Schumacher a bit more of a run for his money. But didn't get the start at all, Harry Newey. Then it's Drugovic, Rinus VK, Yuri Vips is 6th, Cardoso is 7th, Ralph Aaron has got past Dylan Young now and up into 8th place. Yoshi Katayama is 10th, Kimi Schramm 11th, Manuel Maldonado is 12th, 13th is Pavel Ravashanka, and Chio Ing Hung, I think, has gone missing on the first lap somewhere, so keep an eye out and see if we can find what happened to the Malaysian driver, but he's right at the back of the pack and hasn't come across the timing line once, so I think it could be the end of the day, or end of the race anyway, for Chio Ing Hung. But Mick Schumacher, the 17-year-old German, runner-up in both German and Italian Formula 4 last year. He's the man leading the way. He picked up 2 podium finishes in the MRF Challenge last season. But this season it's going an awful lot better. Turns 8 and 9. Just looking very calm, very assured, very in control. Last lap, he was 1.5 seconds quicker than the rest of the field. Admittedly, Mawson and Newey were battling. And that attack from Harry Newey has just started to fade a little bit. Schumacher comes through the final corner again, and this lap he sets a 1:51.5. Joey Mawson behind sets a 1:51.7, and Newey does a 51.5. So much more evenly matched on that last lap for the top 3 in terms of lap time, but Schumacher has a 3.7-second lead. Newey in the black and white car to try and close in on Joey Mawson. He's got a pretty good run actually out of that hairpin. Here's a look at that aggressive move from Mawson, getting a fantastic dummy, finding the inside line again, but he is under pressure from Harry Newey this time around. Is Newey going to be close enough to make the move coming down into 4? It's going to be a brave late lunge if it is. Mawson feels the need to cover the inside line. That may compromise him on the run down towards turn 5. Get the feeling this race is going to be a long one for Joey Mawson. Schumacher sprints away up at the front, but Mawson is under big pressure from Harry Newey. Then behind is Drugovic, VK and Yuri Vips. Turn 10 from Mawson. Here's the top 6. Schumacher leads, Mawson 2nd, Newey 3rd, then Felipe Drugovic is in 4th position ahead of Rinus van Kamervout, and Yuri Vips completing the top 6. Schumacher across the line again. 4 laps down, 8 to go. And again, Harry Newey is able to stick very close to the back of Joey Mawson. You do wonder if Mawson is going to have the pace later on in the race potentially to pull away from Harry Newey. But again, look how wide Newey goes to try and get the drive off, to try and get the slipstream, and I think he's basically a similar distance away as he was last time. And he was almost close enough for a move. Mawson defending a little bit earlier this time around. It's a very long back straight, a very potent slipstream, but again, Newey isn't going to be quite close enough this time round, is he? Again, attempts the wide sweeping line, narrow off the corner angle and take more speed through. Absolutely nose to tail. Great fight. The closest 2 drivers on the track at the moment. Close battle over 10th between Kimi Schramm and Yoshi Katayama, but whole lot more important in terms of the championship. Oh, little step out at the back end for Harry Newey. No one is stopping this man though, Mick Schumacher, who, if he continues this form, is going to be right in title contention when we get to Chennai in a couple of weeks. As he comes now down to complete the 5th lap of this 12-lap race. The gap at the end of the last lap was 4.6 seconds. He set another fastest lap on that previous tour, and it's a 52.1 this time around. Joey Mawson has managed to just edge away from Harry Newey, 3/10 further away this time. Then it's Drugovic, VK, Vips, Cardoso, Aaron, Dylan Young. Now here's the battle between Yoshi Katayama and Kimi Schramm coming down towards us. Well, this is up in 7th place, Pedro Cardoso in the blue, red and white car 43, under pressure from the 99 car there of Ralph Aaron, who had that airborne moment down at turn 1. Again, Harry Newey not quite close enough. Really tracking Joey Mawson, isn't he? With him every step of the way. One error from Joey Mawson and Newey will be through. There's Narek Karthikeyan, who is out in this race but driving a test car, so he starts from the pits as the MRF team and JA Motorsports try and learn more about these cars. These cars are running about 3.5 seconds a lap quicker than when they came here, I think 3 years ago to Delhi. 3 seasons ago it was, but it was in December at the end of 2012. A little bit of a run wide. Mick Schumacher is really in control of this one. Just as I say that, the back end goes all over the place and he slides out over the curving. Certainly looks as though he's pushing. Let's look at that again. Obviously nothing too dramatic, but you can see the amount of opposite lock he's got on there. That's a reasonable slide, wasn't it? Across the line, and Joey Mawson has set his personal best lap of the race so far. 3/10 quicker than Harry Newey behind. The gap is up to a second now. So has Newey missed his opportunity? We're at half race distance, 6 laps down, 6 to go. Aaron, they're all in the 99 car, the Estonian, very close, I was about to say, to the back of Pedro Cardoso, the Brazilian driver, but then he was a little bit leery coming out of the hairpin, and as a result has dropped back a tiny bit. The difference he has as well is that Cardoso is getting a bit of a slipstream from Yuri Vips in front in 6th place. VK is caught into Drugovic, hasn't he? They've separated by just 7/10 of a second at the line last time. There they go, the red car and the sort of grey-yellow car battling over 4th place. They're getting a little closer. Still Ralph Aaron's is pushing. Of Venus VK looks so different from the back. It looks all grey from a front shot, and then from a back shot it looks like it's entirely yellow. As he now drops down the hill, here's Mick Schumacher across the line to complete another lap. 5 laps to go for Schumacher, 4.5 seconds clear of Joey Mawson. The top 3 all setting a 1:51.6 on that last lap. As it stands, I think Mick Schumacher has the fastest lap. Actually, that might be slightly slower than Ralph Aaron and his fastest lap from yesterday. I'll have to check the timings in a moment, but we're on lap 8 of 12 now, here in the 3rd race of the weekend for the MRF Formula 2000 cars. And it's Mick Schumacher leading the way by 4.5 seconds. Here's this battle over 4th place. Felipe Drugovic the 16-year-old Brazilian. Last year was his first season in cars, and he competed in the German Formula 4 Championship, took one podium. And he is up against Rinus van Kamphout, who too is 16 years old, in the number 2 car. The Dutch driver picked up multiple karting titles in the Netherlands, did 6 races last year in a Formula Renault with MP Motorsport, not in the Formula Renault Championship, but racing in sort of an all-comers series, as Harry Newey runs a little bit wide there. Here's the top 6, Schumacher, Mawson, Newey, the top 3. Then that battle over 4th place between Drugovic and Rinus van Kamphout, and Juri Vips is completing the top 6. Newey a little wayward at times as he tries to push in and close back up to Joey Mawson. But here comes Mick Schumacher round the final corner again. Four laps to go now for Mick Schumacher. 8 laps completed. We're now on lap 9 of 12. And he's still 4.5 seconds. Again, that last lap, they all did 1 minute 51.7. In fact, Joey Mawson and Harry Newey on that last lap, their lap times was 0.003 of a second different. Mawson did a 1 minute 51.793. Newey 1 minute 51.796. Incredibly evenly matched, those two. And the gap has remained about a second for the last sort of 4 or 5 laps, really. Drugovic 4th, then Rinus VK, Juri Vips the top 6, Cardoso, Ralph Aaron, Dylan Young and Yoshi Katayama completing the top 10. It's Kimi Schramm, Manuel Maldonado, the cousin of Pastor Maldonado, and Ravin Ravichanka, the last of our runners. Chio Ing-hung retired on the opening lap. Aaron was close there, wasn't he, to the back of Pedro Cardoso in their battle over 7th place. Cardoso, another Brazilian in the field, 17 years of age he is, from Brasilia, the capital of the country. He was the 2015 South American Formula 4 champion in that blue and red car. 7th in British F3, Brazilian F3 last year as well with the high-tech team. Did 4 races last season in the MRF Challenge. This is his first full campaign. And he has had a podium, a 3rd place in the 4th race in Bahrain. But Mick Schumacher, once again, is comfortable up in the front of the field. Comes across the line, 1 minute 52.2, so about half a second a lap slower. P1, L3, 3 laps to go. It was actually a bit of a scruffy lap that from Schumacher. The gap came from 4.5 seconds back to Joey Mawson there in 96 to 4 seconds. I don't think Mawson will be too disappointed with this result. Schumacher has been absolutely superb over the course of the weekend. Mawson still has the championship lead. It's only going to come down by 7 points. Actually, Schumacher's got the fastest lap of the race as well, so it'll come down by 9 points. Oh, and there's a twitch from Katayama. Big twitch from Katayama, allowing Kimi Schramm through down into the first corner. So Kimi Schramm now up into 10th place. Although then a big lockup from Kimi Schramm. Katayama chasing him down. Still no movement in the rest of the order either, and in fact Rinus VK has dropped back from Felipe Drugovic in their battle over 4th place as Kimi Schramm and Katayama do battle. Katayama, the 2016 Japanese Formula 3 champion. Big lockup from Kimi Schramm. Is that going to be Katayama's opportunity? Don't think he's quite close enough. Dylan Young up in front in that number 3 car in 9th place, but this is the battle over the final points paying position. Schramm in it at the moment with Katayama right up behind. Here's a look at that lockup. Oh, that's going to be a nasty flat spot. A couple of flat spots really on that tyre for Kimi Schramm. But Mick Schumacher meanwhile is about to start his penultimate lap of the race. 2 to go. Look how close Harry Newey is. It was 9/10 of a second at the end of the last lap. Now it is 7/10 of a second. Set the personal best lap on that last lap, Harry Newey. So as he just backed off to save a bit of tyre life, and now starting to push it again. Now's the time to do it. Ralph Aaron, meanwhile, is now a long way off the back of Pedro Cardoso. Here's Yuri Vips in 6th place. The 16-year-old Estonian from Tallinn. 5th in the Italian Formula 4 Championship, 6th in the German Formula 4 Championship last year with the Prema Power Team. Best result of 2nd in the 4th race in Bahrain in the MRF Challenge so far this campaign. And he's running in 6th place at the moment. There's Schumacher, there's Mawson, there's Newey. That's your top 3. And Schumacher in a moment is going to be starting his final lap of the race. Really good drive yesterday. Back end's working, isn't it? But a really good drive yesterday from Schumacher. Started on pole position and won race 1, but then started down in 8th place in the reverse grid race and still managed to come through to take a podium finish. And now he turns into the final corner. Last lap board is out for Mick Schumacher. Mawson has managed to break away from Harry Newey on that last lap. The gap was 0.7 of a second last time through. It's now up to 1.5. So a combination of a very quick lap time from Joey Mawson, personal best of the race so far, and actually only a fraction slower than Mick Schumacher's best lap, but also Harry Newey was about 0.7 of a second slower than his personal best lap of the race so far. So Newey's attempts of an attack appear to have dropped away. As here we see Felipe Drugovich coming through the hairpin at turn 3. Out onto that long back straight. His battle with Rinus VK has calmed down a little bit now. There he is in 4th position. Maybe a tinge of disappointment he wasn't quite able to keep the pace with the front runners, but a solid 4th place after a retirement in the 2nd race yesterday would be welcome news for Felipe Drugovich. Schumacher into turn 8 and 9. Just a couple more corners to go for the German. Never really been under challenge at any point in this race, has he? Started the race from pole position, got away well at the start, and whilst everyone else scrapped behind, Mick Schumacher pulled away a huge lead at the end of the first lap, and it has just built and built, leading and culminating in victory in race 3 here in Delhi in the MRF Challenge. Joey Mawson 2nd, Harry Newey on that last lap sets the fastest lap of the race. So that gives him 2 points and may well improve his grid position for the 4th race later on. 4th across the line is Felipe Drugovich, Rinus VK in 5th, 6th for Yuri Vips, 7th for Pedro Cardoso, 8th for Ralph Aaron. Here comes Kimi Schramm, who's right up behind Dylan Young in their battle over 9th place. Across the line they're separated by just half a second, but it is Dylan Young who holds on to it. Kimi Schramm completing the top 10. Yoshi Katayama in 11th, Manuel Maldonado across the line to take 12th position. And Pavan Ravishankar, the last of our runners. So that fastest lap from Harry Newey. We'll see where that puts him on the grid for the race later on today. It was quicker than Mick Schumacher's on that lap, so depends what Mick Schumacher's fastest lap was, because he got fastest lap in the first race of the weekend. So here's a look at the results. Mick Schumacher taking victory in race 3 of the MRF 2000s. Joey Mawson, championship leader, finishing in 2nd place, losing a bit of ground to Schumacher in the championship fight, but only 7 points and Mawson has quite a healthy advantage. Harry Newey finishing in 3rd place and taking the fastest lap with a 1 minute 51.294. Felipe Drugovich and Rinus van Kamphout had a good fight, but ultimately it ended with Drugovich on top. So the cars making their way now back to the pits of the Parc Fermé. There is Schumacher. Picking up as much dirt and grit on his tyres as possible, so the car is nice and heavy when it comes back to the pits. See Harry Newey and Felipe Drugovich doing the same thing, because the tyres are so hot that you can almost sort of stick things to them. These really grippy MRF ZLO tyres are so sticky that you pick up a load of rubber and stones and stuff, and that makes your car heavier, just in case you were underweight. But these guys won't be running underweight, of course, but they'll be as close to the limit as possible. All the cars run centrally by MRF in this championship, by JA Motorsport. So don't really have different teams. But it shows you how. It shows you how close it was. That the top 3 fastest laps were separated by 7/100ths of a second. There is Joey Mawson. A little high five with Vicky Chandok. And but here comes our race winner. Back into the pit lane, Mick Schumacher. And we'll hear from him in a couple of moments with Louise. But a second victory in 3 races, 3 podiums as well in 3 races for Mick Schumacher. Little thumbs up and a point to his mechanics as he comes down and parks in 1st position.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for the fastest racing cars in Asia.
So Schumacher climbs out of his car, a lot more happy with that one than he was with his first race victory. He was very happy with his first race victory, of course, but that feels like a really satisfying race for Mick Schumacher. And a good drive as well from Joey Mawson, you have to say, in 2nd position. You can see him down there. Just to the right-hand side, that aggressive overtaking manoeuvre on Harry Newey on the opening lap really got him that 2nd place, and it was absolutely vital that he managed to do that. There is Joey Mawson on the right-hand side as he continues to lead the championship with just 5 races to go now. A race here this afternoon, and then 4 races in Chennai. As he heads over and has a little chat with a lady who yesterday I said was his mum, but it's not his mum, it's his manager. Let's go down and hear from our race winner with Louise Beckett.
Well, that was one dominant performance.
Yeah, no, it was good. Good start, and the 2 were fighting in the back, so I could head away, do my laps and do my times. I think that worked out, and pretty happy about the race.
Even though you had that gap, you were still pushing hard. We saw you really getting the most out of those tyres.
Yeah, I was trying to get the best lap out of it. Also for the next race, because there's the new rule, so I had to push a lot. Didn't quite make the lap time that Ralph did in the 2nd race, I think. So I'll be starting 3rd or 2nd, so something like that. Pretty happy with that, I think. Now looking forward to the last race.
I'll let you. So it's all out for the win for this last race.
It is. Yeah, we'll push.
Good. Look forward to seeing it. Let you go up to the podium. Thanks.
So Mick Schumacher, as he says, Doesn't think he quite beat Ralph Aaron's time from yesterday, so that means Ralph Aaron could be on pole position, but it depends how that time compares to Harry Newey's time as well. So fascinating to see how that will unfold, and we'll get a full grid sometime before the start of the race. Conveniently, obviously, but a really good performance from Mick Schumacher, and he just sort of oozes confidence, doesn't he, at the moment? Especially around this circuit, he's really got it hooked up, and now we can hear from Joey Mawson.
Well, Joey Mawson, you definitely had your work cut out for you in that race, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I did. I have to say it was a hectic first few laps, but I had a really good fun battle with Harry. I think it was good for people watching, and even for me, I was enjoying the battle. So, yeah, no, it was good. I'm quite satisfied with the race, to be honest. I think we did the best we could and got good points, so...
we didn't get to speak to you on the grid, so were you on new tyres as well?
Yes, I was.
And what can we expect from you for race 4?
Yeah, well, I think, I'm not sure where I'm going to start race 4, but yeah, I think it should be an interesting battle between me, Mick, Harry and Ralph. So yeah, hopefully we can finish on a podium again and end the weekend with some solid points.
Great, thanks very much. I'll let you go.
Cheers.
So Joey Mawson continues to lead the championship, and he makes his way up towards the podium now. Here's a look at the highlights of race 3 of the weekend here in New Delhi. A good start from Schumacher, a poor start from Harry Newey, and that allowed Joey Mawson up into second place. Newey almost losing the back end as he got on the brakes into the first corner. You saw Ralph Aaron getting a hit further back. I think that was a collision with his compatriot Yuri Vips, but this was the move of the race. Joey Mawson selling Harry Newey, the dummy, launching it up the inside. That gave him second place, and from then on he never lost it. All of that battling though over second meant Mick Schumacher could disappear up at the front while Harry Newey did his best to try and pass Joey Mawson for that second spot. It was a really strong drive from Mick Schumacher. Frustrated though not to set the fastest lap. There was a mistake from Yoshi Katayama that allowed Kimi Schramm through on the run down towards the first corner. Schramm then had quite a big lock-up at the next turn. But Mick Schumacher once again took victory, his second win in 3 races here at the Buddha International Circuit. Joey Mawson and Harry Newey finishing in second and third, but it's Schumacher who closes in on the championship lead. Felipe Drogovic came out of the final corner to finish in 4th place after a race-long battle with Rinus VK, who finished in 5th. Yuri Vips completing the top 6. So the drivers about to make their way out onto the podium. Mr. Aaron Mammon, the MD of MRF Tyres there, will be handing out the trophies. And there is Mr. Aaron Mammon, and here is Harry Newey making his way out onto the podium. A 3rd place finish for the Englishman.
Who's also the championship leader at this point from down under Australia.
So 2nd place going the way of Joey Mawson. Yet another podium in what is becoming a sensational MRF Challenge campaign. But it's victory for Mick Schumacher. What a superb performance from the German. He climbs onto the top step of the podium for the German national anthem.
In honor of the winner, please. Request you all to keep standing.
Mick Schumacher pulls himself into championship contention, not only because of the victory, but also because of the pace he is showing. Harry Newey takes the third place trophy. Thumbs up for him, but disappointment, I think, for him as well. Joey Mawson very satisfied with finishing in second place. More points for his championship challenge, but the biggest trophy of them all for Mick Schumacher. 2 wins out of 3. And they will all join together on the top step of the podium for a photograph with just one race to go here in New Delhi. Schumacher, it doesn't seem, will be starting on the front row for that race, but he will do everything he can to fight through from the back. Has a little chat with Joey Mawson, but I think you can see a very disappointed Harry Newey making his way off the circuit. Still 2 more races to come here if you're watching us on the live stream, and that is a VW Vento Cup race and then one more MRF Challenge Formula 2000 race coming up a little bit later on. It's been a thrilling race, and Mick Schumacher is the man who takes the victory. Mawson second, Newey third. Mawson still leads the championship, all to play for in race 4.